Hi again. So I'm just kind of here. This is the second part of it. Um, After I abruptly left, I'm here to do this streaming thing again on the Vengeful Vadam's take on it on campaign evolved.
But
Is That's pretty much about it. Excuse me one moment while I while I post the link through. Here you go. All right. Left off near. And I'm pretty sure. All right here.
Picked a great main, but your voice
Enough.
doesn't quite match
No.
it.
We have a
Enough.
fix.
Voice mod gives you
Enough.
over a
No.
Critical
um.
is achieved. In this case, the Spirit Dropship's turret was all that could be locked onto in the demo, and that also confirms these turrets are destructible, unlike in CE. It remains to be seen if they'll strictly lock onto air vehicles like in Reach, or if it'll expand to ground vehicles too. Kinda hoping for the latter. I like the homing rockets.
Yeah. But I think that happened in Halo Reach as well, or Halo 2 at least. So it seems like a fun take. It seems like a good addition to it. Um. So yeah, I'd say that's a good take as well.
Now that we can trade weapons with allies, that means rocket marines on the side of your Warthog are possible in this game. I'm glad our allies can finally accomplish something meaningful like this. It's an excellent quality of life feature. To begin the Covenant handheld weapons,
Hard agree.
we have the Needler. Like the assault rifle, this is a much different version from Combat Evolved. It holds 24 needles per magazine, with only 72 maximum in reserve. 7 needles are required for a super combine, and unlike in Halo 1, individual needles deal impact damage immediately. It's only effective when you have red reticle, and that range is pretty short, but the needles are faster and have better tracking than CE's. I really like that the Needler is more viable now, and is another great hunter option. To kill
Nice. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I also saw that in. I'm pretty sure it was Halo Combat Evolved Reflow, or just like a balanced version of uh Halo Combat Evolved where the Needler was replaced, or the Needler was just there to super combine the hunters and to kill them more efficiently. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of Campaign Evolved, but it yeah, it seems like a pretty decent addition as opposed to just the one shot with the Magnum. So very another good choice.
a hunter, it's 2 super combines on normal, 3 on heroic, and 3 plus a few needle impacts on legendary. I think it could use one more spare magazine though, buffing it to 96 spare needles like in Reach. One thing I really don't like, however, is the ammo counter. I didn't
Oh yeah. Yeah, Halo 4 Reflow added a whole bunch more magazines, so I think that might have been 343 Industries' issue with just, you know, with much less ammo counter, much less ammo as opposed to uh much more of it. So I don't know.
not like it on Infinite's Needler, and I still don't like it here.
There's a sweet online. Get all these needlers here, and then yet it still counts right here. Like that's an okay design. It's it's just fine. Honestly, I feel neutral about it, but I do I do notice that right there, and that disturbs me. So
This screen gives you 3 ways to see how much ammo you have in your magazine. The needles on the weapon, the ammo meter in your HUD, and then the screen itself. The screen is just redundant, in my opinion. Next up is the plasma pistol. Each primary fire shot spends 0.5% of the battery, giving the user 200 shots at full strength. An overcharged shot spends 10% of the battery. Charging the weapon drains the battery, while charged shots EMP vehicles. Regrettably, this was the weapon I used the least, so I don't have a lot to say about it. It's a standard Halo 3 era plasma pistol. It's not the beast that was CE's plasma pistol, especially since you cannot fire it as fast as you could pull the trigger, but I like the modern utility it brings to this campaign. Stunning vehicles will always be a good feature to have. I'm curious to see how this will affect specific vehicles in the campaign though, like the Banshees at the start of the second mission. They're scripted to not be usable by the player, so will this mean they'll be EMP immune as well?
Oh, I honestly hope not, because it's all about the sandbox, and yeah, I sincerely hope not. Um, although like I could see why the developers at the first game wouldn't want you to uh really use those banshees in the first place. But yeah, about the fire rate and all that, I like how it's a lot like Halo 3 apparently. Although if we're gonna go by the classic again, we could have a faster fire rate as opposed to you know something uh I guess like just Halo 3, because the draining battery is good, but also we need to bring back the fire rate, I guess.
This is a script function in Reach, so it's possible. I did find that the standard shots were pretty weak versus Elite Flesh. For reference, this clip was on easy. Not the biggest deal, since that's not the plasma pistol's role in this remake. I'm just too used to the World Destroyer from CE. The final weapon is...
But yeah, I was introduced to Halo Combat Evolved by MCC, and frankly, yeah, I agree there. We need to bring it back.
The plasma rifle. Each shot spends 0.5% of the battery, offering 200 shots at full strength. The original plasma rifle is my favorite weapon from Combat Evolved, so this one has a lot to live up to. Thankfully, it's pretty good here. It deals great damage to shields while also shredding unshielded targets, just like the Halo 1 plasma rifle. Not much else to really say, to be honest. While I have some visual issues with the plasma rifle that I'll get to a bit later, I enjoyed its gameplay. It scratched that Halo 1 plasma rifle itch for me, and I hope it remains effective at launch. Moving on to vehicles, the sole drivable vehicle is the Warthog. It has modern Halo Warthog features, including a horn, power sliding, destructibility, and really poor Marine drivers. I didn't use the machine gun turret that much considering the Marines got me killed each time I gunned, but it behaves a lot like Halo Infinite's chain gun turret. Notably, it does not overheat. Splattering enemies is not as easy as Halo 1.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't overheat like Combat Evolved, I don't think. So that's another okay feature. Definitely could have a lot more reach aspects since it is the reach engine, but yeah.
Considering Halo 1's Chucky physics are not being used, but it's still easy enough. I wish I tested to see if vehicles use Halo Infinite's Doomsday destruction, so I don't know if that's in here or not. The only noticeable change with the Pelicans is the addition of chin guns, and the Spirit dropship turrets seem to fire sideways angled needles instead of plasma, probably a placeholder. I also noticed the Spirit's doors are a lot like Halo 5 Spirits.
Honestly, not a bad change. Not a bad addition at all. Yeah. Not necessarily a better design, but that's not like something like, oh my gosh, they're changing every they 343 Industries is trash. Like, okay, it's not terrible, not the worst thing in the world. Ah, bro, fire, bro. Go.
Now that I talk vehicles,
Forgot that I muted it.
And reachisms of the Campaign Evolved demo, I like to discuss everything that I liked, have nitpicks about, and greatly disliked about this remake. I think the cutscenes are gorgeous, especially the Elite Zealot scene.
Yeah. Those black bars are a good addition too. It's more like, I guess, modern and yeah. It's definitely a change from the 16:9 cutscenes from the original, but not a terrible change. Like many of the, you know, gameplay aspects here. Honestly, like not a terrible addition. Frankly, more cinematic and yeah, very nice.
I do feel
Very intense though, I guess, too. Not in a bad way.
the opening cutscene goes on for a bit too long though, and I miss the first-person perspective as you approach the beach. It'd be really cool to see the Pelican get shot down in first person. The Forerunner interior
Yeah. you're like in first person the entire time in that first cutscene, so that is definitely a missed opportunity. Touchdown! Hit him, Marines!
interiors are a step in the right direction compared to Halo Anniversaries. Nowhere near as bright, and the darker tone is present. The presence of ambient wildlife is appreciated, especially the crabs. I think they're adorable. The visuals in general are really pretty. I love how the water looks and the way the sand interacts with your warthog. I also
Oh, yeah. Reminds me a lot of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Most likely with the introduction of the tire trails on the road and in the environment. I don't know if that was like the first change to have those trails or not for Mario Kart, but either way, still a very good addition. I like that a lot. Much more realistic, I suppose.
like how the Bravo 22 site transforms after the crash. Some of the weapon effects are really cool. Rocket launcher explosions are incredible.
Oh wait,
And the way the sand interacts with your warthog. I also like how the Bravo 22 site transforms after the crash. Some of the weapon effects are really cool. Rocket launcher explosions are incredibly powerful, the plasma bolt impact effects are very liquidy, and the plasma grenade arming effect is really sick. To quickly recap on other things that I've already said that I liked. Most of the weapons
beautiful Unreal Engine.
felt great to use, especially the plasma rifle. The quality of life additions such as weapon trading, EMP, the Warthog features, etc. were welcome additions. The hunters are based on Reach hunters, which are my personal favorite. On the flip side, here's some of the dislikes that I've already mentioned.
Oh crap!
Which are my Warthog features, etc. were welcome additions. The hunters are based on Reach hunters, which are my personal favorite. On the flip side, here's some of the dislikes that I've already mentioned. The assault rifle does not perform like the MA5B and is way too weak. The pistol's bullet magnetism is too strong, and the elite shields don't resist it hard enough. The Needler's ammo counter screen is redundant, with the weapon offering 3 ways to read magazine capacity at the same time. There's no overshield on the map to add respite for upcoming encounters.
Oh, come on now. Ugh. No. Man, they did us dirty there. I trying to, yeah. If you want to make it like the original, then please do so. Ugh, man. Yeah, no, that's pretty bad.
The stealth elites should be unshielded. Finally, the assault rifle and or the pistol should deal more damage to hunters, so the player has an easier time taking them on when needlers, plasma grenades, and rockets are scarce. Before I get to more of my gripes of the demo, I like to point out these 2 assault rifles by Bravo 22's crash site. They spawned before the crash itself, so I assume this was an oversight. I'd also like to remind everyone that
Yeah, most likely. I don't know. I guess it is still a whip, but yeah, that yeah, that doesn't look too good, but I mean, yeah, I guess they are still working on it, but whatever.
while I have quite a few issues with Campaign Evolved, my overall experience with the demo has been a positive one, and given how much the devs were pushing the surveys, I can see a lot of the problems being fixed by release. Let's start with visibility.
Yes.
Enemies, especially shielded jackals, can be tough to see at times. The human ammo caches are even more obscured by the environment. Marine corpses and human weapons blend in with the ground. Shield flares on the elites and jackals should also be looked at. Jackal shields don't react at all to plasma fire. As for the elites, if it weren't for the hit markers, I'd have a hard time telling if my shots were landing. In Halo 1, the elite shield flares not only visibly register damage, but illuminate the elites in darker areas too.
Yeah.
Speaking of hit markers,
Yeah, fair enough, honestly. I guess that game was designed very well. And yeah, I guess it's doing the Combat Evolved the Xbox 360 anniversary thing, so beats me.
I'm not a fan of those either. Enemies reacting to damage, whether it's through shield flares or ping animations, were all that was needed to convey shots landing in Halo 1. I found hit markers especially annoying when driving a Warthog. The Marine gunner and passenger are the ones shooting. I don't need to be distracted by hit markers that I'm not causing. While I prefer it to be removed entirely, at the very least, this should be a toggle like Sprint will be in the future. And that brings me to Sprint itself. I know the Sprint debate is extremely tired at this point. It's been in the franchise for 15 years now, and I remember the early Reach days when the Bungie forums were erupting
Running past that elite. Anyways.
With Sprint discourse. I get that Sprint will be a toggle in Campaign Evolved, but with how it is now, it makes skipping encounters very easy. If Halo Studio...
Yeah. I guess they could be designed to be a bit more like... Sprint is honestly subjective, maybe, or like it could be quicker around the corners, but I don't remember my take on it, but I kind of see now that it's like it's not really worth it, I guess, to add it, or even as a toggle if it does get added. It seems, yeah, it doesn't look too good for the gameplay itself in the game, I suppose, because like I've seen online, it does ruin the pace a little bit, and hard agree there. So, yep, keep going.
Studios really want Sprint in this game, it should come with limitations. Whether it's limited energy like in Reach, stopping the player when they get shot, or shields and health do not recharge while sprinting.
Yeah, I like that prudent option a lot better than just like it should be gone it should be gone always. That's a good take.
Me personally, I don't like to place myself in the pro-sprint or anti-sprint camp. I hate the sprint debate, but I felt compelled to bring it up, since it's a big change to Combat Evolved that should not be ignored.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair enough. Yeah, thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Moving on, something I don't hear a lot of people talk about is the lack of D-scoping. Campaign Evolved brought back the Smart Scope from Infinite, which I don't mind on its own. What I do mind is the fact you can't be shot out of it. Mid-range enemies...
Oh, yeah. We're bringing back Halo 4 2 now, boys. Let's go! Yeah!
These are a lot easier to keep a zoom on while under fire. I did not have to practice as much self-preservation when I was confident I'd stay scoped in at all times. This is yet another reason why the pistol is so strong right now, because it's virtually uncontested at mid-range due to no D-scoping. I highly advise bringing D-scoping back to force players to strafe more against incoming fire.
Yeah, and just ultimately more difficulty and realistic stuff. Yeah, we need to bring back the D-scoping because, yeah, it, yeah, let's bring D-scoping back. That's about it.
The spirit that drops off the jackals after security override has a messy landing. The jackal's exit animation also lingers too long, forcing them to levitate.
Oh, very interesting. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. That's. I guess they are still whatever developing it, but yeah, we should change that also. Seems like a glaring issue, honestly. If we were to, yeah, very glaring issue.
This is admittedly a small nitpick, but I don't like the pistol's illuminated iron sights. They were a bit distracting for me, and because the weapon has its integrated scope, it shouldn't have this.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. I I don't know if that was the original design for the yellow dots to be glowing, like, because I'm pretty sure that they didn't glow in the original, but beats me, I guess. I could see why that's distracting, and I think that's just kind of like a painted thing instead of a whole illuminated source on the gun. So,
I'm not the biggest fan of the plasma rifle design. The hooked nose situation at the front doesn't look right to me. If it doesn't change, it's not the end of the world, but I'd prefer a sleeker design like CE's.
hmm yeah, fair enough. I honestly didn't see any problems with it other than like it looks a bit too unclassic in a sense, right about near the back end here. Not this, but near the middle. Um, I think it's the either the screen here or the curves, but it it does look a bit off, I could say so.
I'm also not sure how I feel about how wide the Warthog is. It might be hard to see in my footage, but the dashboard components have messed up UVs and are flipped. While I really like
Oh
the
dear.
cutscenes,
Oh my. Well, oops. But hmm, very very interesting. I don't know. Does it have pedals?
but the dash I feel about
Does it have pedals? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold. Where is it? Um, I don't see any pedals, but I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot more stuff there. Excuse me for a minute while I see if the audio is even picking up. Just a minute. Just a minute. All right, let us continue.
hard to see in my footage, but the dashboard components have messed up UVs and are flipped. While I really like the cutscenes, I have one concern. The music during the transition from cinematic to gameplay. The original cutscenes made sure the music kept going as the player gained control.
Hmm.
This was something sorely missed in Halo 2 Anniversary cinematics. They were
Hmm.
gorgeous for
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I don't know what I'm laughing about.
sure, but the music cutting off as the cutscenes ended has been my biggest issue with them. This should be rectified for Campaign Evolved. If the current loading screen
Yeah. I guess I didn't really notice anything, but I suppose I haven't played the originals or much of the anniversary. So yeah, fair enough complaint, I guess, or fair enough. Uh, what's the word? The freaking fair enough point. There we go. Good, good lord.
was just there for the demo, that's fair enough, but boy do I miss the original loading screen. A modern version of it should return. It's
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. That yes, hard agree again. I don't know why I'm trying to make a point every time. Ah, in who would?
no secret that Campaign Evolved is reusing a lot of assets from Halo Infinite and even a bit of Halo 5.
Hmm.
I don't mind the Covenant units being from
Oh yeah, that's the if you see the Magnum reload here, um, yeah, like that reload there specifically is I remember Halo 5, which I that's okay. I like Halo 5 assets a lot. However, it's I think the original was trying to go for the freaking uh it's trying to seem a bit choppy, I guess. So I don't know, we could bring back a reload from another game because like the can't the original was honestly a pretty decent reload. Um it had a very good animation for both ends. So it beats me why we would have to use a quote unquote choppy kind of version of the animation, but yeah, honestly I hope that you know, it's better than it is now in a sense.
That's from Halo Infinite and even a bit of Halo 5. I don't mind the Covenant units being from Infinite, as they look really nice here. What I'm
Hmm. Yeah. If anything, they're just recolored to look like the original, so that's another benefit.
not a fan
Um. So yeah, nice.
of are the Marines. If these are not placeholders, then this will be the second time in a row where we don't get proper Halo 1 Marines in a remaster/remake. I really want my green eyepiece Marines back. The biggest
My boy, my boy. Hmm. That green eyepiece is like favorite thing of mine, and also an inspiration for the Legend of Joe Mama character designs. So specifically for Seymour Jones and Blark. However, you know, it seems like a pretty decent addition. So yeah, there was a good design at first. I don't know why we're changing everything, bro. I don't know. I'm half joking there. I'm probably not even funny. So whatever.
biggest example of asset reuse, however, is through the first-person weapon animations. Almost all of them are from Halo Infinite, with the exception of Halo 5's Halo 1 pistol and the
Yeah. Yep.
plasma rifle, which uses brand new animations. The
Hmm.
plasma rifle's firing animation in particular is in a rough state, in my opinion. Halo 1's weapon
Honestly, it looks kind of fine. It looks pretty good. The only thing that I noticed was, of course, the Halo 5 pistol, which looked alright. I liked it. Um, I liked its addition here, and the plasma rifle too. I don't know. I think they're at all the animations are most likely at different frame rates, or they just look a little bit choppy. They, but like to what I've seen, they look very smooth. So yeah, continue on.
rifle's firing animation in particular is in a rough state, in my opinion. Halo 1's weapons had a specific feel to their animations that was lost with Halo 2.
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, fair enough. I I I would guess they have their own different styles, obviously, or something like that. But yeah, I could definitely see what you're saying here.
Reloads
So that's a very good argument.
were slower and more calculated, while ready, firing, and melee animations were a lot more stylized and exaggerated. In no way do I suggest that Halo needs to go the direction of something like the new Modern Warfare series, which by and large has set the standard for view model animation since its release. But Combat Evolved is probably the most unique animation feel in the entire Halo series, from the overall slower pace to the assault rifle's HK slap.
Hmm. Oh yeah, right. Again, more stylized stuff that needs to stay in the classic. So that's very fair. I'm not a conservative for I'm I'm a conservative for a reason. Lamau.
It's very unfortunate to not see that style of animation revisited in modern fidelity.
Hmm. Yeah.
Next, I want to discuss the Forerunner architecture. Earlier in the video, I praised the interiors returning to a darker tone, and I still stand by that. However, most of the surfaces are too gray and shiny for my taste. The buildings themselves
Yeah. We'd honestly better not be going back to the Xbox 360 anniversary like usual. Although I would say that they're probably not going to be as bright as the original. Like you turn on the anniversary graphics and everything, and all of a sudden everything just looks out of place, out of pocket on Halo. So you know what? Very good, very good.
are too straight-edged, with not enough curvature like in the original. The first structure you see during the beach assault is so far removed from the original design, it doesn't look like the same building.
Oh, oh my. Let's. Oh no. Oh, okay. It's pretty close, but I mean, it's just not. Oh no. Oh, my. You massacred my boy again. No. No, 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 no. Ugh. Whatever. I digress. Yeah, I digress, bro.
The structure by the first Hunter encounter is also very different. It does not look like it opens a door, and more like any other Forerunner beam tower. One minor detail that was missing from the demo is this large hole in the wall that exposes Forerunner building material.
Oh my gosh, I never honestly saw that when I was playing it. I was just shooting the Covenant and somewhat paying attention to the storyline because this story is very memorable. But cool, cool. I didn't notice that. I'm such a bad gamer. I'm sorry, folks.
It's a nice bit of world building, showcasing how deeply entrenched the Forerunner tech is on the natural parts of Halo. These last few points are my biggest gripes with Campaign Evolved, as they affect the play spaces themselves. For starters, the invisible wall blocking the water off needs to be extended further out to sea.
I didn't notice that, I guess. But again, I never played the Campaign Evolved preview, so good eye.
One of my favorite things to do on Sonic Cartographer is to take the Warthog out into the ocean as far as I possibly could. Does it make sense? Of course not, but it was beautiful. With all the new seafaring wildlife in this game, imagine the ecosystems you could see. There's also a lot
Yeah. Considering all those crabs and the other wildlife too. Yeah, because I think they meant to have a lot more wildlife in the original, at least with the dinosaurs or something, but beats me.
of new rocky areas just begging to be explored. Why
Oh yeah, and considering and considering it's supposed to be like non-human and like you're supposed to see the environment and it's supposed to be almost non-human. Yeah. It yeah, I suppose you could explore more of that, but yeah, I don't know, I guess we are on a large ring where it's a big environment, whatever. Yeah, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I guess it's just this new world that you're just now seeing, and like, wow, you're supposed to be encapsulated by this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be this whole big sandbox. Combat evolved. I don't know, man.
ecosystems you could see? There's also a lot of new rocky areas just begging to be explored. Why can't I go there? The beaches are way too rocky. While it doesn't sound like a big deal, it affects player traversal, whether they're on foot or in a Warthog. I was constantly getting caught on rocks, which felt annoying when trying to aim at targets or simply get somewhere without resistance.
Yeah.
These
Noodle actually mentioned that a little bit, where on the anniversary graphics you might accidentally hit something or explode yourself. This animator guy. I may have to link him too, but yeah, we need to keep the original to what it was mostly, with potentially higher graphics, while keeping that original idea in mind, of course. But I don't know, simple observation, I suppose, simple take, based or not, I don't know.
These beaches are really pretty, but they're not that fun to fight on. It needs to be fun before it looks good. Jamie Griesmer talked about this next point on Twitter, but the tree that serves as a vehicle blocker to the island interior is gone in the demo, and I feel this was a change for the worse.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you could wedge a hog through the tree in the original game, but most people never thought to do that on their first playthrough, and it required effort to pull off. Now, you simply hold up your left thumbstick, and you can skip the first hunter encounter with ease, which I think is a huge detriment to this play space.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose while the sandbox was very, you know, very explorable and very, free to play, that is very good that they had intentional placements there. It was very intentional, like the original, and what the anniversary just kind of screwed up with. Again, I'm mentioning anniversary, but it seems very important too.
My final gripe is my biggest: the removal of the right side ramp by the cartographer entrance. With this cut, there's just two ways to the cartographer now: the left side and then the cave to the right. This also removes a scene involving the three jackals by the beach. In Halo 1, when the Covenant at the cartographer entrance are getting killed, these jackals fall back to reinforce their allies. Without this ramp, though, they can't do that, so they just stand around doing nothing, watching
Oh,
their friendlies die. And that'll be
very interesting. Yeah, I never noticed that. So cool.
everything I've experienced in the Campaign Evolved demo. Overall, while I listed quite a few issues with this build, I believe Halo Studios has the ability to rectify them before release. We
Yes.
have a potentially great game here, but a lot of work must be done to achieve that potential.
Yeah.
You're
Another anniversary, which I mean, isn't even shouldn't even be considered a bad thing. Which I mean, if you want to introduce players to the series that are very new, 2001 as compared to 25 years later. Lord, I'm very, very old. We have to keep it very close to the original, or else they aren't gonna like Halo, and that's gonna be really depressing because Halo is a great series. It's a great little bit of lore. It's a great IP. Please preserve it. 343 Industries.
gathering
Snälla.
feedback this early.
It's 2026. Come on, people. We're waiting for this. One moment. Yep, excuse me.
But a lot of work must be done to achieve that potential. You're gathering feedback this early on. Use this time to make the most of it all.
Yes.
If and only if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment on your thoughts on this remake, or questions you might have about it, subscribe for more Halo content from this channel, hype the video so it gains more traction, and ring the bell to never miss an upload. I'd like to thank my patrons, as well as my Needler Gang YouTube members.
Yeah. Awesome. A good overall video. You cute dog. He had a good message here. Wait.
Appreciate it, and I love each and every one of you. This is the Vengeful Vadam. Always remember that you matter more than you think you do, and I'll see you on the great journey.
Like my boy JHC said, bro. My boy Jesus Christ. All right. Oh, look at me evangelizing. Oh, but yeah, very true. Yeah, this is a very good video. I liked everything about it. Um, I I didn't understand the like in the first stream that I did. I didn't understand that I yeah, I didn't really understand, you know, wanting the what is it? I didn't understand wanting the Magnum uh to have a bit more damage, or at least more bonus damage. I think was to the hunters. But I overall really enjoyed the reaction. I yeah, I really excuse me, I really overall enjoyed the video. That was quite a good time. Sounds like, you know, campaign evolved seems like a decent thing. I'm very optimistic, but I guess that's kind of my hope for every series is that it's, decent and that it keeps up the reputation. Um, Keeps up a decent reputation and decent games. But I mean, that's just me, I guess. Um, because I know that 343 Industries has a very not good history of um, literally a lot of the games starting from when it, did Halo 4 and anniversary and campaign evolved anniversary. So yeah, here's to the future. Bye bye, y'all. God bless.